One of the big differences you see is we're in a completely different historical context. 1910 was functioning in the context of colonialism. And so all the discussions about mission were taking place in that context. It was still part of the long 19th century. It was before the great disillusionment about Western culture that occurred in World War I. World War I changed everything. And the thing that's fascinating about the Edinburgh 1910 conference is that it was really the end of thinking about mission as completely connected with Christendom. So that when John R. Mott gave the concluding speech for the whole conference, he said, the end of the conference is the beginning of the conquest. Now, I don't think we're going to be saying that today. Also in 1910, they mentioned that only one third of the world was Christian. Now we say, isn't it amazing that 1/3 of the world is Christian? Clearly our mental framework about what we're doing has shifted. The 20th century was a bloody, violent century. And so the optimism of 1910 is something that has changed. At least our confidence in any human efforts to bring in the kingdom of God.
M.P. Joseph, professor of ethics at the United Theological Seminary in Bangalore, writes regarding this shift in the 20th century and regarding what we're doing now in 2010, he says, daring to reject the Christ of imperialism is the challenge of faith. What is the Christ of imperialism?
I think the Christ of imperialism is the Christ of making ourselves God. That none of our human structures are in fact God.
Idolatry.
That would be idolatry. And so I especially like 2 Corinthians 4, where we talk about we're not the image of God, the glory of God is in the face of Jesus Christ. We must be wary of putting our own faces where Jesus' face ought to be. And when you look 100 years later after 1910, you see them struggling with the same issues, but what's obvious to us, they didn't know.